It's been so long. It's been so long. I know. I hope you missed us. Welcome everyone to the stream. I know some of you have already started chatting away. Thank you so much.
Well, just make sure they can hear. Can everybody hear?
Can you hear us, first of all? Can you hear us? Give us a high five if you can. Hi, hi, hi. All right. I'm seeing some high fives. Excellent, excellent. We are about to embark on the streams again. So it is pretty exciting for us to get started again just because we have been so much heavy on the back end preparing for AM2023. Thanks for chatting away already for those who have been coming on. If you haven't done so, please share this stream and connect with with our fellow fans from all over. And I hear there's some Japanese guests on the chat as well, actually. Some attendees from the past, but also new ones. So welcome to Anime Matsuri's live stream on YouTube. If you haven't done so, please subscribe and like this video because we're going to be updating you, and we're going to be doing this quite frequently for the next month at least. We plan on doing the streams twice a week, but we'll get to that in a moment. If you don't know when Anime Matsuri is happening, it's happening August 10 through 13, 2023 at the George R. Brown Convention Center in Houston, Texas, y'all. Welcome to the stream. I am Denise Lee, founder and chairman of Anime Matsuri, and beside me is...
I am John Lee. Nice to see you guys. It's been a while, but we've been extremely busy getting this convention to where it's supposed to be.
Yes.
The convention is growing, and we are growing with it.
For sure.
There is way more activities. It's way bigger this year. And you will see. We will get to it. But first, see many familiar faces here.
Yes. We have Big C in the house. So we have Jason in the house. We actually have that's going to be coming in with us is Amber from Artist Alley, and we have Leon tonight as well here. We're actually streaming from our home.
Correct.
in Sugarland.
Correct.
The outskirts of Houston, Texas. It's still greater Houston area. However, there's quite a bit of things that have been going on in the house as well as out, but mainly in the house, which is the preparation for Anime Matsuri 2023. Quite a bit. We've had meetings here. We've had meetings at our new venue as well, called the Anime Bar. Staff and volunteer socials that we've been having. So if you're welcome to come and join our team as well. We'll get to that also later on. But tonight's stream is a lot of focused.
Yes,
stream.
so let's break this down because we have 2 months to the convention,
Yes.
and we have a lot to go over.
To cover.
As you can see, we were waiting for the first stream, which is this one, to start announcing all our guests and all activities and what you can expect from the convention this year. I'm sure you're gonna love it. So let's start. Let's start this stream, and let's talk about sort of like the heart of the convention, which is the first floor, the exhibit hall. Our exhibit hall, it's on the first floor of the George R. Brown. It's pretty big, probably one of the largest in the nation. And we're going to start with that. As of today, our exhibit hall is it sold out?
It's like 99%.
Besides a couple of booths, the entire exhibit hall is sold out, and there is a waiting list for some of the booths. Also, a big change for this year. I'm sure some people are aware. If you're not, the Artist Alley, which was in A3 upstairs on the 3rd floor, is now down in Hall E on the 1st floor. So the entire Artist Alley is with the all the exhibitors on the 1st floor. Now, the Artist Alley, as you know, last year opened for a few hours on Thursday. But we'll get into that in a minute for the schedule, right? So you guys can see and understand what to expect. But let me show you what we are talking about
Real
here.
quick though, I had to explain the George R. Brown Convention Center.
Do you?
Yes.
What?
there's a few newcomers that have not been to Anime Matsuri. Are there any newcomers so John can know and all our other fans will know if you are new, first time to the Anime Matsuri, first time in Houston, or is this your first anime convention? Let us know because we're always excited to meet new people, but we need to explain certain things. What happens at conventions, we can get that going later on. But however, George R. Brown Convention Center is the largest convention center in Texas and one of the top in the nation in terms of space. It's double the size of Los Angeles Convention Center, and it's about 2 million square footage of space. And we utilize not just the first level, not just the second level, but also the third level and outdoors. We cover that as well in terms of what we do on Avenida, which is where the convention center is held, and also across the street, which is Discovery Green Park. So we'll be telling you all about this in other live streams. However, tonight, as John mentioned, we're going to be very focused on the exhibit hall specifically and what goes on in there, how much space we have for level 1 of the exhibit hall.
Okay, so let's take a look at the map.
Okay.
This is the map right here.
This is level 1, hall B, C, D, E. B, C, D is our exhibit hall for the exhibitors, vendors. And there are some artists in there, but hall E is dedicated to artists specifically.
So on this map, what you see on this map, everything on the left side of the map, there's another hall, which is hall A on the left side of this map, which you can't see here.
Yes.
Right? It's cut off. You can't see because that is where we have our concerts. That's where we have Club AM in that hall. Okay, so on what you see here starts from hall B, and then you see C, D, and E. As you can see, just like that. And this is the biggest and the fullest the exhibit hall has ever been. And
yes, this is actually quite huge. We recently added last month an entire row.
So this is hall A, right?
Yeah.
So as you guys can see,
Hall A is dedicated to concerts and Club AM. Our main stage, basically. One of our main stages, but that is the biggest stage that we have for our live concerts.
Okay, so we would like to go over certain things now. Actually, you know what? Let me get our image up here. Hold on. Let me.
If you can see that exhibit hall, we're going to explain to you some of the details of what goes in it and what happens during operating hours of this exhibit hall, which is going to be fascinating, by the way. Okay, hall B, C, D. There's level 1 entrances. There's several entrances. On opening ceremonies, which happens at 11 a.m. on Friday, August 11th. That's when, we have the mayor come and, cut the ribbon and whatnot. We're going to be there outside the concourse of Hall C. So when that happens, we're going to, after the ribbon cuts, Hall C opens, and then the rest of the entrances open as well.
Correct. Now, let's I can see some people in the chat asking, where are the cars? Where Shibuya Crossing?
Where
Okay.
Shibuya Crossing?
All right.
I know.
All right, we'll get there. We still have cars, so just hold on for a second. Let's start with Hall B. Right? Now, what I'm going to do is I will go over certain things. Remember, we're going to start making official announcements now. Starting this week.
After our stream.
So I'll point out a few things here and there, and you guys will have first dibs on some of the vendors, some of the exhibits that we have, right, before the official announcement hits the internet. So what we're doing right now, this isn't the official announcement. It's just, it's just kind of like showing you guys what we're prepping for, who's coming, what's happening. You just got to wait for the official announcement, and then you'll see. All right, so we will start with Hall B. So on the left side. Let
B
me.
as in bro.
Yeah. Let me. Let me make this
We're
bigger.
zooming in to Hall B here.
Okay. I'm sure you can imagine there's a bunch of booths there on the red carpet at the bottom. You see they're just blank, and even the big square in the middle there is blank. All the logos are not on there. All of those booths are taken. There's a bunch of companies coming from Japan. But we didn't want to put anything on there before the official announcement. So when the official announcement hits,
You'll see it.
all the logos are going to populate on the graphic, and you will see. So in the middle of Hall B, you see a big square. That's going to be pretty interesting. If you are
Coming from Japan.
yeah, if you're a fan of Demon Slayer, right? You will love what's going to be in that big booth, the big white box right there in the middle of Hall B. On the left side, on the bottom left, as you can see, that's the YouTube corner. And if you look closely, next to YouTube, there is a 20 by 30 booth which says fashion on there. These are the fashion designers coming from Japan, which means the fashion show is back
Yes.
this year.
I know there was a few questions about the fashion show. Yes.
Now, before I start naming too many vendors and too many companies that are coming, which is not the whole point is I'm just giving you an idea so you know what to expect.
Well, can we go back to Hall B real quick? So those squares on the far left side of the what we call our wall there, that's going to be where the cosplay guests are going to be. Our cosplay square, which was in the back of Hall BC before, is now alongside that wall on the far left, and those are our guests from all over, from Japan, from Europe, domestically as well. Those are our cosplay guests lineup that we're going to be announcing more of, and that are going to be featured in their booth there. So they're going to have booths. They're going to have autograph signings. You get to meet and greet with them. They might have some opportunities to do any personalized things for you as well in their booth. So definitely take pictures and take advantage of meeting them during the weekend. And like John said, the rest of the booths, yellow and green, are our different vendors that are coming from different places. And then in the back of Hall B is the gaming area.
Yeah, so this is gaming, as in console gaming, just video games.
Video games.
Video games here, and then there is that red square next to the gaming on the right side, which we will make an announcement of what that is pretty soon. Did you talk about the cosplay guests right here?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so on the far left wall, there is booth C1 to C10. Those are the cosplay guests.
Yes.
They have all been finalized for this year, so it's just we're just going to announce them.
Well, someone had mentioned about YouTubers on the bottom left. It's technically the front of towards the level. If you see the entrance, where the entrance is,
At the bottom?
at the bottom of this map. However, is also the entrance area of the map.
Correct.
So what you see in pink is actually our carpeted area, and so those are going to be our huge booths that we're going to highlight for you. And yes, the YouTubers are going to be in that far left bottom front though of our convention exhibitor hall. So back there, Hall B, you're looking at gaming area, video games, and then we're going to have a new area called, we're calling it like outlet stores. They are back there. And then would you want to go further with Hall C there?
Okay, so
Let's go to Hall C.
now this is Hall C. Now, as you can see I'm going to start with the back of Hall C. So as you can see at the very back, you see all those red rectangles. Those are cars.
Well, they look black to some people.
Oh, they black? Well,
Yeah, they're pretty dark.
okay. Well, yeah.
They're black and red.
So that is the car show.
Yes.
So there's about 40 cars this year, 40 or 42 cars this year. We have
About half of what we normally have, just because we moved Shibuya Crossing. Yes, there is no longer Shibuya Crossing in Hall E, so we're gonna make Hall C, back side of Hall C, the car show area.
because of the artist alley.
Yes.
Now I'm sure this year this hall is going to be very crowded because everything is here now.
Yes.
So you can imagine the artist alley, the car show, all the exhibitors, and there's some amazing companies from Japan. So we're gonna see how this is going to work this year, how crowded it's gonna get. If it gets to the point where it gets uncomfortable, where people are just uncomfortable, then we're gonna have to move something to the third floor. Either we move the artist alley back there, or we move the car show. But something has to move if it gets too uncomfortable. But we're gonna roll with this, and we're gonna see how it goes.
There's two major booths in the car show area. That's black there.
Now, just to clarify, and just to give you guys some context of the car show this year. The car show this year is actually going to be amazing. I've seen some people have posted, just because we haven't said much or giving,
Information.
details of it.
Yeah.
Some people thought that, there might not be Tasha's anymore, and we're just going with
Not so.
just tuned cars. No, that's not true. As a matter of fact, there's about 40 spots. There's about 200 and something entries that applied for the spots, and you will love it. There's a mixture of everything. There are
Yes.
Tasha's. There are tuned Japanese cars.
Japanese cars.
There's everything you can imagine. Not only that, there is a company. A tuning company coming from Japan, which is one of the black squares that you see up there. So the two booths in the middle of the car show, one is for an anime, a racing anime, and the other one is for a tuning company from Japan.
Yes.
They're there. In addition to this, Anime Matsuri, the weekend of Anime Matsuri is also the weekend that the Gran Turismo movie opens. So there is some activation and collaboration with Gran Turismo you will see at the convention. That's sort of like still part of the car show. There's a few companies that have come on board, like Toyota, like Nissan. You will see. Not to mention, we have a couple of title sponsors. It's pretty exciting. As far as cars are concerned for this year, this will be fantastic. Not to mention, Speed Hunters is coming from Japan.
That is an announcement in itself. Speed Hunters.
To cover the show. They're coming from Japan. They're probably the most popular automotive blog in the world, and they're coming to cover the show
Worldwide.
And they're gonna do some features for about, I think, 5 or 6 or so lucky people. That announcement is coming.
Yes.
We'll see. But
So you guys are hearing it first on this stream. So that is an announcement in itself. But the car show, very diverse. Cars, themes, events happening at the car show. Although it's not quite as many vehicles as what we've had in the past, these are heavy quality cars that are going to be featured. And like John said, there's many applicants right now. And I know this is several of the questions that we've had on our DMs as well on Instagram and elsewhere on Twitter and all that stuff. When are the acceptances going to be for Import Reactor?
So
Car show is the car show.
Everything should be finalized by next week. You will receive emails. We haven't sent out any emails for Import Reactor just yet, but we will starting this week, and we will finish next week. So you will know when you get the email. You know you're in. Just consider yourself lucky, because there's a lot of cars that
There's only 40-something.
We would love to take everything, but we're out of room. There is no more space to put more cars. We would love to put 200 cars in the show, but we just don't have the room. We might decide, I don't know, next year to just move the entire car show upstairs. I don't know. We are
there
discussing
is quite
that.
a lot of demand as well. I know that one of the biggest features is that big rectangle, and that you see right there in front of Hall C, and that is for something special as well, coming from Japan. So it is massive this year in terms of like what we're doing for the car show, but it's not just the only thing. Okay, so this is again one of the highlights of the convention will be that feature.
Yeah. So that's that. You sort of have an idea of Hall C. Now there's also a big booth in the middle of Hall
Big
C.
square there.
Big square there in the middle of Hall C, and we'll announce what that is, as well.
Again, yellow and green. If you're just joining us now, I think some people were just joining us. Yellow and green booths are all our exhibitors, vendors coming from all over the world. There's actually quite a bit outside of Texas this year. We had to change this map up probably about 10 times just for the demand in which everyone has been messaging us and emailing us, emailing info, emailing everywhere. Our emails as well as our social media. And so we had to create not just one line of rows actually, but it was a couple of rows that we had to add just for the demand this year for our event coming August 10 to 13. So the exhibit hall, just FYI again, opens on Friday. We're gonna get to when artists are gonna be opening, but specifically Hall B, C, D opens after the opening ceremonies on Friday, August 11, because Thursday is when the vendors start arriving to set up their booths. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so moving on to Hall D. Again, I'll start with the back. At the very back, as you can see, there's the guest booths. There's from 1 to 12. Okay, all our guests have been finalized. And the space in front of the guest booths, as you can see there, they're for lines. At first, like a couple of weeks ago, all of that space had cars in them.
Yep.
We lined up cars. We put cars everywhere
Possible.
that we could find space. But then we thought, well, we're going to have lines. Some of the guests are popular, and they have long lines. We just
didn't
need
want
space for lines.
We also want room for the vendors as well that are featured there, and we didn't want to create issues with cars and lines and people wanting to buy stuff. So just all these things we had to consider. So we actually decreased that by a little bit so that we can have space so that you guys can freely move to various lines and whatnot.
Yes.
Those are our guests for specifically voice actors.
Yeah. And in the middle there, the
featured
big
guests.
white square in the middle there, that is the Godzilla store Tokyo.
You heard it first.
So Toho is back this year.
Godzilla Store Tokyo.
Again, just wait for the official announcement. But just to give you guys some context on what's going on,
Yes.
what to expect, why, and how. So this year, there is something big happening. Well, there's
Don't say.
Well, there's something big happening this year. Well, in for Godzilla, there's something big happening this year, and there's something big happening next year. Okay, these 2 years are monumental years for Toho and
it's
for
2
Godzilla.
years worth of Toho Godzilla Store Tokyo. Too.
So we have right now we have a 2-year agreement. So we are planning this year and we're planning next year.
Next year's announcement is even bigger than this year, and we're so excited. We can't even tell you because it's confidential from Toho.
Well, what's not confidential, I'm sure you guys already know. In November this year in Japan, Toho is releasing the new Godzilla movie. This is the new Japanese Godzilla movie. Yes, next year this is Godzilla and Kong, which is the legendary movie, but this is Toho Studios. And it's pretty exciting. They've been working on this movie for a while. I've seen a glimpse of it, and that will be promoted there for the first time.
First time at
I think
Anime Matsuri.
people will get to see something, and right now there's 2 months of the convention, and everybody's scrambling, everybody's going crazy. There's the new merch, there's the new visuals, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that everything that they want to do will be ready
by
Anime Matsuri, because right now everybody's running around the clock in Japan trying to get everything done.
But for sure, Toho is on board we're gonna have, as you know, D-Man is in the house, by the way. D-Man 1954. Thank you so much for joining us, and he's so excited to hear this news. But yes, that massive square in Hall D is Toho Studios and Godzilla Store Tokyo.
Yeah, and I know lots of people, Japan hasn't said anything. They have been very, very secretive about this new movie. They haven't said anything. Nobody knows what it's about, what Godzilla looks like, what's going on. But hopefully you will have answers to most of your questions
Yes.
at the booth this year. There's
Yes.
also going to be some people from Toho there. So besides, besides
do have Toho guests as
yeah,
well.
besides that, there will be some panels, and you will have the information that you seek there.
Okay.
But again, you wait for the official announcement. That's coming very soon. Also, there is something special besides that in this booth. I
Yes,
I
there
almost
is.
forgot this year.
The Military Museum.
Well, no, not that.
Oh.
Not that. The art.
Oh,
Remember?
yes, the art.
So we have, well, maybe you should just wait for the official announcement. There is Toho is bringing one of their official artist, and he's pretty legendary, and he will come and not only do a panel. I think he's doing a live drawing
Yes, he is.
every day at the booth.
This is so crazy. I mean, we haven't done anything like this. And mind you, when 2019 was the last time Godzilla Store Tokyo and Toho themselves, was featured and at Anime Matsuri. And mind you, that was already mind-blowing. That was the first time Godzilla Store Tokyo arrived stateside and at Anime Matsuri. And this year, they're so excited to be back and fully on board for the next 2 years. So, very exciting.
Yes, very exciting. The booth itself is going to look pretty spectacular. I'm sure you guys are going to love it. There's a lot of... just wait and see. Yeah.
Okay, moving on, though. There's
Okay.
other parts of here. So, the carpeted area, like we mentioned, in Hall D, those are some of our big exhibitors.
And speaking of big exhibitors, on the bottom right corner,
Yes.
V1 Tech.
V1
That
Tech.
is one of our official sponsors this year, and there is a big announcement coming for that as well. So
Yes.
we
You had to check out their booth. It's going to be huge this year, and it's massive for them at Anime Matsuri. Okay.
So now that this gives you an overview of the first floor and of the exhibit hall, to give you an idea for the ones, if you haven't been to the convention, the exhibit hall opens on Friday. So there's 3 days of the exhibit hall, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday at noon is when we have the
Actually, 11 a.m. is when we have the opening ceremonies.
Yeah, with the mayor.
11:30 is officially open for only our Super Pass holders. So Super Pass holders, you get to go into the exhibit hall 30 minutes before everyone else, along with Hall E when that opens on Friday.
Yes, and Super Pass holders have 30 minutes to go into the exhibit hall and buy as much stuff as they want before everybody else goes in.
Yes.
And I guess that's a pretty good thing if they know where to look, because there's some items in this exhibit hall that are,
Exclusive.
and a few of them.
Yes, very limited.
So I guess if you have a Super Pass, you're pretty, and if you know where to go,
You're just going to go right there. I know people have ran in there. Let's not trample on anybody, but I just want to say, Super Pass holders, you do have the advantage here as usual.
On Thursday, we're gonna do another stream on Thursday, and Thursday we're gonna go over like the overall like schedule, activities, events, guests, and you guys will again have an overview of what it is.
Yeah.
But speaking of the first floor, the exhibit hall opens on Friday, so you have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. However, last year we opened up the Artist Alley on Thursday.
Yep.
And it was easy because it was in a completely different exhibit hall. It was
Third floor.
on the third floor. So we just opened that hall for 4 hours on Thursday, and that was great. You know, people loved it. You could just, for 4 hours, go around, support the artists uninterrupted, and you have to worry about stuff on Thursday before the exhibit hall opened the next day. Now, the exhibit hall has the artist alley this year. So what we're gonna do is we still want to do what we did last year
4 hours dedicated to artists on Thursday.
on Thursday. But on Thursday, while the artist alley is open, the exhibitors will be setting up because Thursday is setup day. So
How does that work? So yes, we have an air wall actually that we're going to be using this year between Hall D and E to separate the vendors that are setting up versus the artists that are going to be already in place and ready to see you guys. So in Hall E.
correct. So we will put the air wall there on Thursday just to let the artist alley open for 4 hours, and that air wall will be removed Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday morning when the exhibit hall opens. So on Friday, everyone coming into exhibit hall, it'll just be one big hall.
Yes, it's going
Right.
to be massive. By the way, if you guys are enjoying our shirt, some people have admired our.
I like that shirt. Yeah.
I like yours too.
Yeah.
This is our 2023 official shirt for Anime Matsuri. I hope you are liking it because you have an opportunity to purchase it, but also for those who have a super pass, you will be getting one. So it's here. So we've been working on a bunch of things. So merchandise is one of them.
I would like also to apologize in advance. Last year we had 2 food courts. This year we have 1 in the exhibit hall.
Well, there might be two
well,
smaller ones.
Yeah, it was between food stalls and anime merch, I guess anime merch, right? So, but outside you still have 15 food trucks, and there's still a food court area. Is actually near the artist alley.
There's
It's
food
there. It's just
in different levels.
it's just not 2 food courts like last year, just because we had to put stuff where the food court was.
All right.
Okay.
But, yeah, there. If you notice, can we zoom out again to our exhibit hall here? If you hall B, C, D. If you see this overview of how massive this is, if you also notice that not just the front or not just the middle, or when I say front, meaning the entrances, it's not just about the entrances, it's not just about the middle of the hall, it's also about the sides of the hall and the back of the hall. So there's something happening in every direction when you enter this exhibit hall this year. And this is why we've been working so hard to make this as complete as possible, not just for us visually, but for you to experience during the convention. So come Anime Matsuri 2023, when everything is open, you need to explore everything in terms of the space in which we're doing things, and how massive this exhibit hall has turned out to be this year for us, and for you. Again, the demand is there because the demand is reached because of you guys. So there's people talking about Anime Matsuri even when we're not on live stream like this. So we've been very blessed with all of you guys supporting the convention throughout the year, buying your badges, preparing for the convention, already booking hotels since several months ago, continuing to do that on the daily. And we're just so excited that you guys have been extremely supportive throughout this year, since Anime Matsuri 22 closed. Even without barely any announcements or just information out there, you guys have been supportive. And so we've been really so grateful for this. But please know that we've been quiet because we've been also working our butts off trying to.
Well, you've been quiet. I haven't been quiet. I haven't been quiet.
We've been working really hard trying to make this the best possible the convention, visually, experience wise, and very memorable for you guys again this year. And it is very massive in terms of what we've done with the exhibit hall. So you need to experience all these things that are happening in there. And again, tonight was about focusing on the exhibit hall and level 1 here, that we can explain more as we go into the convention descriptions and announcements and whatnot. So looking forward to the next several weeks. Just FYI, one, we're going to be starting streams again like this twice a week. So today was an off day just because we're going to start it actually every Monday to expect leading up to the convention. Every Monday and Thursday.
Monday and Thursday. Yeah.
Monday and Thursdays. Be sure to join us on stream because that's when we're going to be talking in depth about different parts of the convention, highlights, announcements, just behind the scenes stuff, updates for you, answering questions from your end as well, and as ours, and just giving you some insight and input of what's happening for 2023. Okay, so this week, on June 8th, Thursday, we will be doing another stream for you and announcing more. So we're going to get into details of what else is happening.
Yes.
But real quick, I just wanted to see what you guys have been discussing here. And
oh yeah, because you have to talk about the Artist Alley with Leon.
yes, Leon's been waiting for me in the other room. So we're going to move on to that room, if that's okay, while you answer some of these questions.
Okay. All right. There you can go.
Okay.
All right. So Denise is going, and she'll be talking to Leon. Leon is our Artist Alley director. And I will bring that up pretty quick. All right. Let's go back here.
Can you see me?
Let me unmute this mic.
Which camera do I look in?
No, that is a good question. I'm
All
just
right.
going to be looking at you.
Okay.
And
I'll
then
do
I'm
the
going
same.
to look.
All right, Denise, you guys are live.
Okay, we are
Hello.
live. Welcome. I'm not sure which camera. We have 3 cameras here. So, Leon, I think you should just look forward there and then look at me if you want at times. I'm going to look at that camera and you as well. But here we go. So, Artist Alley, which is going to be a huge Artist Alley this year for
it's gonna be
2023.
massive.
So Leon has been our veteran staff member since we started Anime Matsuri in 2008, and this is actually our 17th convention, 17th
It's been
annual
17?
convention.
Okay, wow.
Isn't it insane?
I lost count.
So wow, it's been quite a show in terms of growth exponentially,
Yeah.
but Artist Alley has grown with it. We started with 50 tables back then?
Yeah, about 50. Yeah, it's been a wild ride for sure.
We started with 50 tables. I can't believe it. And back then it was tables. So let's talk about that real quick. What is Artist Alley and where is it and when is it? All these kind of questions, frequently asked questions from you guys as well as from artists that we're going to be talking about. So Leon, Artist Alley, when is it happening?
So it's going to be happening at AM, of course, but it's going to be on Thursday. Artist check-in will be at 12 noon,
Yes.
but we will be open at 4 p.m. and it'll close at 8 p.m. that same day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Thursday, August 10th. So for artists, if you are joining us on stream right now, for artists, we've been emailing artists behind the scenes, but there's also been information for you that you're going to be getting as we get closer.
Right.
But operating hours for the Artist Alley starts Thursday, August 10th, because as John and I mentioned in the other room, Artist Alley's there's going to be an air wall between Hall D and Hall E so that artists are going to start on Thursday. And
Right.
what time do they actually open for attendees again?
For Thursday, it'll
Yes.
be 4 p.m.
4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Yes.
4 p.m. to 8 p.m. 4 hours, so that you guys need to just explore away in there, but also make sure to support the artists. Artists from all over the world,
Right.
right? That
Yeah.
are joining us.
Canada, yeah.
Europe,
Japan.
Japan.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
South America, and domestically in the U.S. So there's a lot of artists from all over, not just Houstonians and Texans here. We're gonna be actually we had. By the way, if you guys don't know, 28 different countries attendees from 28 different countries attend Anime Matsuri last year. So I'm gonna be expecting about the same this year.
Yeah.
Because there's quite a bit of increase in terms of attendance as well as participation on the vendor side and the artist side. So going back to Artist Alley, there's a new location because demand.
Yeah. Yeah, demand, requests from the staff.
Staff and from artists especially.
Yeah, especially artists.
Yes, especially artists. So
Yeah.
there's a new location at Hall E.
Yeah, like John said, it's going to be Hall E, level 1. Yeah,
Yes.
we're back in
Yes.
the exhibit hall.
It's not back just in one section.
Right. But
It's,
it's
the
the whole
entire hall.
Yeah. We've
The-
definitely grown for
Yeah,
sure.
Hall E, by the way, is approximately 115,000 square footage. Is one of the biggest halls of the convention center. So it's 115,000 square feet
Mm-hmm.
of space. And artists, how many booths are we looking at? By the way, 2021 is when we started doing booths,
Right.
not tables anymore.
Right.
And
So,
why was that?
we just wanted to give something special, especially after COVID and having to take a break for that 1 year.
That's correct.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
we started with booths, and this booth is
it's 10 by 10.
10 by 10
Yeah.
footage.
Space. Yeah,
And
which will include pipe and drape, 8-foot table, 2 chairs, and an artist sign.
yeah, so this is not just a 6-foot table, how we
Yeah.
started back in 2007.
Yeah.
It's 8-foot table, but inside a 10 by 10 booth. Okay, and this massive undertaking has increased to how many booths this year?
So right now, the spots we have in Hall E is 331 booths.
331 10 by 10 booths. That's how many we were able to fit in Hall
Right.
E this year. We actually moved several things, not just the car show out,
Yeah.
but we moved Kabuki Cho out.
Show, yep.
Of
Sorry,
Hall
Kabuki
E.
Cho. Yeah, we needed the space, so
We moved that out. We originally kept it in there about 6 months ago. We
Right,
still had
right.
it in there, but
Yeah.
we moved it out because there's so much
we even
demand.
had like Wonderfest like we had last year. We
Yes.
had that in there. We had to move that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
So-
the demand was just too great, so we
Yeah,
tried to.
we still
fit
have
as many-
demand.
Yeah, but we're out of space now. So.
We are out of space for artists this year. This has been again quite an undertaking. So I want to give props to also not just Leon, but the other coordinator, which is Amber, who you will
Can't
get
do it
to
without
know.
her.
Yeah,
she's,
Amber.
she's great.
She's amazing. And then we also have an awesome Artist Alley team that are going to be full force this year to help artists and you guys to navigate in the Artist Alley. So what can we expect, not just the artists in there, what can we expect that's happening in the Artist Alley?
Well, we have a stage
Mm-hmm.
that will showcase live drawing for the artists.
Okay.
And we'll also have programming, which will have select panels and featured guests.
Awesome.
We'll have
When we say featured guests, we're going to feature some guests for you
Yeah.
in
a
there.
few. Yeah.
Yeah. So artists, what kind? Well, there's also a small, like John said, food court in
Right,
in the
right.
front right
To the
corner,
right side, yeah.
Yeah.
In that little hole.
in that area there of Hall E. But yes, it's gonna be massive in terms of other parts of Artist Alley. So we're dedicating quite a bit to the space for artists. Now, what can attendees do in there? What can they expect to see in there?
Well, just a lot of talented artists
Yeah.
displaying their artwork and selling their artwork and their
Independent
merch.
artists.
Yeah, independent artists. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Just
Yeah.
the amount of artists we have this year is just astounding. So
It is. I mean, again, not just the exhibit hall, the vendor hall has increased, but our artist alley, and this is why we're highlighting it tonight, because this is all level 1 that we're talking about here. For artists that are on our stream and going to be seeing this stream later on, what is allowed and what's not allowed? I think that's what's been a highly frequently asked question. What's allowed and what's not allowed in there.
So of course, prints of the artist's original work is allowed. Commissioned artwork is allowed, and indie comics, manga, and independently produced merch is also allowed. So,
okay, great.
Yeah, buttons, plush,
Yeah,
jewelry.
and there's a lot of like crafts too.
Right,
There's artists that are gonna debut some crafts or debut some things, and there's commissions that are allowed.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
So.
What's not allowed?
So copyrighted licensed items, of course, is not allowed. Reproductions of that work is not allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah. AI art is definitely not allowed. I'm looking at all 3 cameras.
AI
It is not
art
allowed.
is not
You will be kicked
allowed.
out and maybe even put on a list.
Yeah,
So,
you might be banned
Yeah.
in that sense. So I highly recommend not using AI whatsoever. And actually, several artists don't want to use that because,
Yeah.
so AI is not allowed in not just the artist alley, but also in the exhibitor hall.
Right. It's just not allowed in
at the convention.
Yeah.
Whatsoever for sale and whatnot.
Right.
Okay. So what else? Anything else that is not allowed?
Um,
Mass produce.
Yeah, just
items.
any mass-produced items, shirts, like figures, anything like that is
Yeah.
not allowed in the artist alley.
So anything that's independently made is okay.
Right.
And although you have space now for items and whatnot, we gave that space to you artists, that 10 by 10 space, so that you can be more comfortable,
Right.
bring more of your artwork, be able to do more commissions, get more orders. So the convention has been not just set up in a way for artists to sell their goods, but also feature the artists so that they can continue. You can continue to support artists throughout the year by having them see them face to face, supporting them online, on their stores, online. Some artists have their own website.
Right.
And also on their social media, they also do commission work. Sometimes they do live drawings on their Instagram stories and stories in general. And this is a way to meet them in person and be able to support them outside of the convention
Right.
afterwards. So
Yeah.
please do so. All right. So what else is also frequently asked? Can artists still sign up? We get so many DMs. Hey, I missed the deadline. I think are booths still available? We get this like on the daily.
All I'll say is you can try. There's maybe about 5 to 10 spots still available, and there's like 100 people on the waiting list. So
Ooh.
I
It's
should
actually very
just say
full.
no.
Don't,
But yeah,
because
Maybe you might
we
get
go
it.
by the wait list.
for sure. Yeah, we
Yeah.
release in order of the wait list.
Yeah.
So.
It is a feature that we work with Eventbrite to be able to do, is to release it, what's available to those who are on the priority wait list. So, prioritize the wait list.
Right.
So I believe an email gets sent out,
An email gets sent out, yeah.
and then you have a certain time limit in
Right.
order to purchase that
I
booth.
think maximum is 48 hours, maybe.
Max 48 hours.
Yeah.
And then they move on to the next person on the wait list. And so our wait list is full.
Yeah.
So I want to say, no, it's very difficult right now. But however, another question that has been frequently asked, what about sign-ups for next year?
So, unfortunately, right now, 2023 artists that are going to be at the convention will get top priority up
For
until
sign up for
sign up.
2024.
Yeah, for 2024 up until midnight on Sunday.
Sunday of August 13th.
Yes, August 13th. So after midnight, it'll be open to the rest of the artists, but
Okay.
not until then.
Can they get on some kind of wait list? I don't think so, right? It's
Not
just
right
gonna
now.
be
Right.
It's gonna be an announcement that we have during the convention and before the convention, of course, that 2024 artists as well as vendors are going to start on that Monday
Yep.
at midnight, August 14th, 2023, so that you have an opportunity to get the
The first batch of
first
tables.
batch of,
yeah.
of booths.
Booths, yeah,
Yes.
for sure. Yeah,
And-
after that, you'll be on the wait list, and then we'll release another batch. But
Yeah, we are final.
there's always a chance.
We're gonna see any kind of adjustments that we may need after this year to make adjustments to feature different things in the artist alley as well. So it's subject to change, this layout, correct?
For sure.
Yeah.
Especially for 2024.
Yeah.
Like John said, we have to see how this year does and see how the traffic and all that stuff pans out.
How it flows for you
Right.
guys and
Just the new stuff that y'all might end up getting. You know?
yeah. We might be getting things from Japan that it's going to be featured in the Artist Alley next year. So we had to make room for all these adjustments
Right.
accordingly.
Just
but-
know that I will fight to stay on the level 1.
We will
Exhibit Hall
stay.
E.
We will stay.
We're going to try to. I'm going to try and convince John, no matter what he brings. Unless he's bringing a Gundam that walks through there, then yeah. Then we might have to leave. But
For now, it's absolutely it's in the schedule to
Right.
be staying on level 1 for sure for 2024 Artist Alley. But mind you, what we can for sure also say is that there's so much to see and do, and
331.
331 booths of artists from all over the world. And so, what should attendees do in the Artist Alley?
Just try and see everybody.
See everyone.
Especially the people in the back, give them some love, because
Yes.
I know it's hard to stay focused when you see the shiny lights and, especially in the front,
Come to the light.
just do some, be like Link and do some adventuring in the back and
for
just-
sure, right?
just look around.
So there's again 331 artist booths. It's not just at the entrance, it's not just on the sides in the middle, but all the way in the back there's artists that are going to be like doing some amazing works that are wanting to show you guys. So make sure to check out everybody in there, especially on that Thursday, because Thursday will be really just a highlight for artists to make sure that you guys visit the Artist Alley as much as you can. And then starting Friday, it's going to be open for, with the exhibit hall where the vendors are going to be. So let's go into real quick, day by day, Artist Alley operations. Thursday, August 10th, open from
4 p.m. to 8.
4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Then on Friday opens
Noon, and then we'll be closing at 7 p.m.
actually 11:30.
11:30 for Super Pass.
Super Pass holders. Super Pass holders, you get to see the Artist Alley 30 minutes before
Yeah,
everyone else as
right.
well. So 11:30 after opening ceremonies, and then Saturday
It'll be 9:30 for Super Pass, and then 10 to 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a lot of hours, by the way. But it's also not a lot of hours because there's so much to see and do and buy and support.
Right.
And then Sunday,
9:30 again for Super Pass, and then 10 and to 4 p.m.
4 p.m. 4
Yeah.
p.m. is when the entire
Exhibit hall.
convention,
Yeah,
exhibit
everybody.
hall, Artist Alley closes. So that Sunday is a shortened day somewhat, but at the same time, you're gonna be wiped out.
Well, they'll be wiped out, Saturday night.
This is
So
true.
then Sunday they get up at noon anyway.
Does that's a great question Ariana has right now. Does Super Pass get early access on Thursday? Yes, they do.
Yes.
3:30. Sorry.
So 3:30.
3:30 for Super Pass holders on Thursday, August 10th. So we mentioned that Artist Alley operating hours, mentioning that is on the first level again, but in Hall E, all by themselves. But at the same time, it's massive.
Right.
And then what is going to be happening there, all kinds of things featured with independent artists from all over the world. Then we have the stage that's going to be featuring highlights of
live drawings
and whatnot.
Programming.
And then seeing it everywhere. So you guys need to just explore the Artist Alley this year. So many things to do and see in level 1 in general, but there's quite a bit this year, and we're just gonna keep telling you about all this. I know there's been questions about also when the app opens, and I just want to answer that real quick. When the app opens, you need to get on the app, download it, because you're gonna get to see who exactly is where. Right?
Yeah, you'll be able to see the location of all the artists, vendors.
Yes.
You'll have the programming, so you can see the schedule and
you
plan your day around
plan
it.
your schedule around and your experience at Anime Matsuri 2023 around that app information. So in the exhibitors, in the Artist Alley, the whole schedule. So the schedule is going to be coming out, and that was probably going to be one of our next streams. So thanks for joining us. John, do you have anything else that you want to mention? No? Okay, I'm going to answer just a few more questions before we get to just close up for the night, because I know there's a lot to talk about. There's all kinds of questions. We've been asked about like concerts. We've been asked about programming, fashion show, cosplay contests, import reactor, all kinds of questions. We're going to answer as much as we can with the announcements that we're going to bring to you. Okay, so just thank you so much for your patience. It's been quite a trek. We've been having many meetings, internally within the departments, as well as in general within our team. And there's been so many new things happening this year.
Right. And once we get closer to the convention, we'll send out an email for the artists to give them all the details about check-in, loading in, and all that stuff.
Options for them.
Right. We just want to get a little bit closer to the con so we know definitively what we can do and what we can't do.
Yeah.
So.
And by the way, because it's in Hall E, the first level artists, you're going to be able to check in 2 different areas, I believe. Right. So all that information will be also emailed to you and highlighted for you in leading up to the convention as well. With maps
and all that stuff.
With maps and everything, yes. So get ready, guys. There's so much happening for 2023 for Anime Matsuri, and we can't wait to share more news, because by the day we're getting information, getting merch in, getting inventory, getting information from Japan and elsewhere. There's questions if there's K-pop, there's questions if there's J-rock, all these things. I'm going to say yes and yes and yes and yes, because there's so much so much to talk about still. So please join our stream on the weekly, on the every day that we have it. There's going to be 2 streams a week on Mondays and Thursday. So the next stream is this Thursday, the 8th, 9 p.m. Same channel here on the YouTube channel. So please make sure to like, if you haven't done so, this video, share it away, and subscribe to our channel, and follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and of course on YouTube and at Anime Matsuri. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. I want to shout out to all the veterans of the convention that have been attending, supporting Anime Matsuri for the past 17 years, or even if you supported us starting last year, or if you're starting this year, we welcome you. So thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to having you this year and joining more streams and talking about the convention. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yay! Have a good night, and always stay nerdy, everyone. Bye.
That's it for the stream today. We'll see you guys on Thursday, where
We're
we'll
still in there.
discuss guests, events, and the schedule, programming schedule, which I'm sure you guys are going to get a kick out of. All right. See you on Thursday. Peace.